For many people in Southern California, hiking has become a way of life. Due to the relatively pleasant year-round weather and the abundance of options within an hour of Los Angeles, it's pretty easy to see why so many people have got into it. I've posted about hiking many times on this channel, but I wanted to make a video that collected some of my favorite Los Angeles area hikes for families. Here's some of my favorite family-friendly hikes in LA with great payoffs. Let me know what I left off in the comments. Hike number 1 is the Old LA Zoo. First up, you could put pretty much all of Griffith Park on this list. It's such an amazing park that is full of hundreds of miles of trails. The first trail in the Griffith Park area that I wanted to recommend is the Old LA Zoo. The Old LA Zoo is a short hike at less than a mile round trip, but has great picnic opportunities and lots of things for families with children to explore. The park features the remains of the original Los Angeles Zoo, and instead of getting rid of the animal exhibits, they just left them there for you to see. You can walk into many of the cages and wander around the large animal exhibits as you explore. It's certainly a unique spot to check out in LA, but do note that if you have young children, there's often a lot of trash in the exhibits. Also, while you're there, if you want to make the hike longer, you can go up to B Rock as well. My second recommendation is Mount Hollywood. Probably my favorite spot to visit in LA is the Griffith Observatory. This beautiful area on the perch overlooking downtown Los Angeles is a great place to spend a few hours at. However, it's also the starting point for an amazing hike to Mount Hollywood. This is a little more challenging than some of the other hikes on this list, but it has beautiful views of the Hollywood sign pretty much the entire way, which will keep you moving. Plus, you can take a short excursion over to Captain's Roost, which is a picturesque area with lots of palm trees planted in a row. Then, when you make it to the top of Mount Hollywood, it's one of the best views in Los Angeles. Do know that this is not the mountain with the Hollywood sign on it, and it costs $15 to park at the lot at Griffith Observatory. My third recommendation is Runyon Canyon. People love to hate on Runyon Canyon, but it's actually a pretty great hiking area in LA. The hike starts from basically downtown Hollywood, and it climbs around and through the hills overlooking the city. The trails here can be as hard or as easy as you want, but if you opt for some of the harder ones, you'll be rewarded with amazing views. Plus, you may even run into a celebrity here while you're hiking. I have on a couple occasions. Recommendation number 4 is the Lake Hollywood Trail. The Lake Hollywood Trail is the next spot on this list, and it's a great spot for hiking and for biking. The trail is cement the whole way, and it's basically flat, but it's still a nice 3-mile walk around the whole lake. The views here are the reason to go, as you can see the Hollywood sign sitting behind the lake, which is not a view that many people see in LA. Plus, it's a beautiful way to escape into nature while being so close to the city. My next suggestion is Eaton Canyon. These last few hikes move a little bit outside of the downtown LA area, and the first of them is Eaton Canyon. I will say up front that Eaton Canyon is usually too busy for me. This trail in the spring often has hundreds of people on it. That being said, it's still a nice hike with a creek that you follow most of the way and a beautiful waterfall at the end. I recommend going on a weekday if you can, so that you can avoid the crowds as much as possible. But at the end of the day, you're seeing a waterfall only 25 minutes drive from downtown Los Angeles. My next recommendation is San Vicente Mountain Park. Basically on the other side of Los Angeles is this hike up to San Vicente Mountain Park. This 2-mile hike is relatively uneventful on the way up, but when you reach the park, you'll be standing at the remains of a Nike missile radar control tower. This specific area was used to detect Soviet missiles during the Cold War. The city has done a great job keeping it up, and it's just a really cool spot to be able to see military history like this while on a hike, giving the kids and the whole family a lot to explore. My last recommendation is Temescal Canyon. Temescal Canyon is a great way to feel like you've left the city while only being 10 to 15 minutes from Santa Monica. The hike starts in the shaded area and quickly gains elevation as it heads up to a viewpoint. The viewpoint itself is a stunning vista from which you can see the ocean, Santa Monica, and even Los Angeles if it's clear. It's 3 miles round trip and you'll get your blood pumping, but it has a great payoff at the end. Lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the Hollywood sign hike. While it's not super difficult, it's harder than everything else on this list. Be sure you don't take it lightly if you choose to go, but that being said, it's still a great hike with older kids that takes you up to the iconic sign. To end this video, I wanted to give a few more quick recommendations for not really hikes but fun family walks in the city. First is the Venice Beach Canals, which is a collection of man-made canals and beautiful houses that you can walk along. You can easily spend an hour walking up and down the canals in this area. Next is the Baldwin Hills Scenic Overlook, which features over 280 stairs that take you up 500 feet to a scenic overlook of downtown Los Angeles. Where did I leave off that you think is a great family-friendly hike? Let me know in the comments and we'll see you on the next video.